Hey Aaliyah, hey Crystal. We are here at 1201 Sunset in Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm going to be showing you the neighborhood and doing kind of a walk down the street, just like the other properties that I've shown, and then I'll give you a end of the update summary. Thank you. Look forward to showing you this home. All right. Here's the house right here. It's on a corner lot. Here's your neighbors right here. How are you? Good. Here's your other neighbor. Yeah, I'm showing a client, doing a video tour for my client that's in Florida. Just spoke to somebody. They were asking about the house. Yeah, nice little neighborhood. You gotta slow down. Kids play right there. Sorry, some people have asked me, well, on the first property while I was recording, so the guy was going pretty fast there for a residential neighborhood, but I think that's why that sign's up. Here, the rest of the houses, I'm gonna zoom in real quick. The neighborhood is, and then down here. All right, now walking back, and same thing basically. It's near neighbors. Sorry, someone's running the neighborhood. And that's your next door neighbor right there. Got someone walking their dogs. All right, and we're at the house again. Here we go. And we're walking into the house. All right, welcome in. So right here, as you walk in, you have your family room or living room. You have like a little breakfast bar right there. And then you have your stairs going upstairs. New LVP flooring. And then back here, you do have this little space back here. You can make that into an office if you wanted to, or a computer room. It's actually pretty spacious, but it is open to the family room. They don't have a ceiling fan in here, or a light. which I don't know why. But it would have been nice to have light, and I do apologize. The lighting is not the greatest today. It's been cloudy and rainy the last few days here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And then you do have an open kitchen right here. And you have quartz countertops with white checker cabinetry. And that's not the whole kitchen. Stainless steel appliances. There's the whole kitchen right there. So you have more room over there. And these are soft close. Might do a better job at that. Boom. And then back here, you have another family area right here. So essentially, you have a living room area right here, and then another area for a family room, I guess, slash dining room. So maybe back there. No, excuse me. I apologize. The dining room, we go back there. So this is part of the kitchen. As you can see, there's the front of the kitchen. And then the back where the dining room would go right there. However, one thing I do notice, I believe this goes outside. It does, so I don't know if you'd want your dining room. I mean, it's just something to think about. There are other places where you could put your dining room. I don't know if I'd put it there. But you do have plenty of space to put it somewhere. As I said, this is a nice size space right here. And they do have 2 ceiling fans in here, which I'm not sure why. They do have a half bath here. They didn't put the there you go. And then this is just a half bath. There's your vanity. And then they have LVT, which is luxury vinyl tile. It's very similar to LVP, but in the form of looking like tile. There's your attic space. It is a pull down. They are missing the string. So they just need to add a pull down string. And then here is your utility room, where your washer and dryer would go. Again. This is a lot of space right here. All right, passing the utility room, and then we have our first bedroom, which I do believe this probably is the primary. Nice size primary bedroom. And technically this is a walk-in closet, but it goes long the other way. It does have a little bit of shelving, but could use more. the camera doesn't do it justice. It definitely is pretty spacious in there. And then you do have brand new carpet, and you have that outlet up there to put a television. And then, of course, you have a small little closet right there. And then you have, it looks like another closet right there. Does need some more shelving if you wanted to make that a linen closet. But as we walk into the primary bathroom, you have a double vanity right there. And it has, that's actually quartz as well, which is really nice. And then a custom walk-in shower. I know the person that did this shower, actually. He does very good work. He does a lot of work for both me and this owner. His name is Elmer. And this is real tile, of course. And a new shower pan. And then you do have a linen closet in here. So you have 3 closets. So you do have a linen closet in here. And again, there is like a little bit of like patching right there, or just, I don't know where they painted, but it doesn't look like there's no moisture or staining or anything. It just looks like they did some sheetrock work right there. So I wanted to point that out. And then this is wood right here. It was painted. And then the windows are double paned. And we got 2 mirrors with new light fixtures. But I'm trying to get, and this bathroom is really big, by the way. Again, I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it's a nice sized bathroom. And again, here's the primary bedroom. All right, back through the family room now. Again, there's a half bath right there. Here's your kitchen again. I know we've seen that a few times. For your dining room, there's your electrical panel. I don't know when that was put in, but it definitely looks like it's in good condition. I'm not saying it's brand new, but definitely not an old, super old electrical panel. And then again, your living room. And again, you can make that little back area into an office if you wanted to. You can make it kind of into what you want. They should have put a ceiling fan, in my opinion, in the living room like they did the other family room. And then you do have another full bath right here with LVT, quartz countertops, with white shaker cabinetry, has the vanity, and you do have a new bath as well. And this looks like brushed nickel. Brushed nickel handles, brushed nickel towel rack, and brushed nickel faucets. I don't know, maybe the shower is chrome. That doesn't look like brushed. I would say the shower handle and the shower head are chrome, but the rest looks like brushed nickel to me. And then you have another bedroom. And again, not every bedroom is gonna be like the master. But definitely a decent size. Not a huge bedroom, but it's also, you could definitely fit a, you could probably get away with a queen in here, but most likely a full size. And there's another linen closet right there, and that does have the proper shelving. And here's another bedroom downstairs. And this one is a little bit bigger, or feels a little bit bigger than the last one. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get as much light in here as I can. It is a rainy and cloudy day, so I do apologize. So it looks darker in here than it would be on a sunny day, so sorry. All right, we're gonna go upstairs now. Okay. I think there's 2 bedrooms up here. Obviously, it's a 5-bedroom. And this is what you would call down here a Cape Cod house. So this bedroom is very long, not too wide. And the one thing I will say, part of the bedroom up here, like my head's hitting the ceiling, but on the other part, you know, I'm 5'9" to give you reference. So just that part back there is something to, and then there's the closet. So not a ton of closet space, but since they do have a closet and a bedroom window, and you do have air coming up here, of course, it is considered a bedroom. Here's where the air, one of the air filters, there's a couple spots where air filters go in this house. And then here's another closet. And this is probably gonna be the smallest bedroom of the house. And one thing I will say that I noticed is there's electrical wiring that is definitely gonna get hit on the home inspection. I'm sure they plan on fixing that, just to let you know. But again, so far in the interior, I haven't seen anything crazy besides that. Obviously, they're not gonna leave it like that. It will get hit on an inspection. And now we're gonna go again. Here you go. We're back into the family room. I know I've shown you this quite a few times. There's the, oh, and I don't believe I showed you this closet. Oh no, this is not a closet. This is just where the stairs go. And there's some ductwork right there. You can use it as storage space if you like. And there's the air filter going into the ductwork right there. Again, here's the other 2 rooms real quick. So the pretty decent size. That one's bigger than this one right here. And the one upstairs is very long, except there is that one section. And they don't have ceiling fans, they just have lights in the bedrooms. It doesn't cost much to put a ceiling fan in, to be honest with you. Especially since there's wiring there. if you wanted to replace that light. All right, we're gonna go ahead outside. All right, we are outside and it is raining again. It's been raining for the last 2 days. It's supposed to be sunny yesterday. Unfortunately, it was just a short period. Well, there was parts of the day were sunny and parts of the day were cloudy and rainy, so not as bad as today. And then their side of the house, we'll go back there in a second. So this is what you call a Cape Cod house. I think I mentioned that already. Really, there's not much of a driveway, unless I'm missing something. We'll go back there in a second, but there's not much of a driveway, I will tell you that. There is an entrance right there, but you would be driving on your lawn. And then one thing I do see right there is a crack in the siding. That's gonna have to be fixed. Looks like someone tried to do some work right there, but I'm pressing on it. It looks like just a nail, but I don't, 2 nails right there. And another little hole right there, and some little cracks right there. That wood's hard, but the paint is chipping a little bit. So, I mean, again, these are stuff that will come up in the inspection. Oh, and then it looks like I don't know if this was the previous owner, because the owner is something else I noticed right now, just walking up, is they're gonna have to put something right here so moisture doesn't get behind the wall here. I mean, I'm not saying there's moisture behind there now. Obviously, I didn't see anything in the house. I can't see behind the wall. And then there's your crawl space fence right there. And back here is your backyard. The fence is definitely missing some post. And then this is kind of a workshop. It doesn't look like it has live electricity. As you can see, the sub panel that goes out is, I'm not gonna mess with it, but I highly doubt that works. And this sheetrock, this is even it's sheetrock, which was never mudded or anything, like they didn't mud it or skim coat it, is coming apart. And then there looks like to be some wood rot right there. So and then this old light and there seems to be more than quite a few, but again, I don't know. I mean, this was probably an old workshop. This is actually still considered a detached garage, but there's no way to really get back here to it with a car. So really it's just a workshop. Looks like they did put a new door up. And then that's the entrance to the crawl space, I do believe. It is. Looks like there's some debris under there. It does look like they have a moisture barrier. I mean a vapor barrier, excuse me, under there. And then here's the rest of the backyard. And then here's your HVAC, which is a gas pack. Or it might be an electrical pack. Yeah, see there's the old gas line. That needs to be capped. So it is electrical and not gas. So, and it is a 25 was the manufacture date. So this is probably brand new and has never been used. Just because it was manufactured in 25, I talk to HVAC specialists all the time, and they say, you know, just because something was manufactured the year before doesn't mean it's been used. There's another crack, and the siding should have been touched up, in my opinion. The interior looks pretty nice. There's the gas meter, but right there. I don't see anything gas in there. So it looks like that gas line might just be there. It does happen where the house no longer uses gas. They did put some new a new fence gate up. And half of it right here. So, I mean, there's some more cracks in the siding. So there's definitely some siding repair that needs to be done, and they should have a transition right there or something under that transition to the door, at least some kind of wood or something painted and sealed, so that, again, there is wood behind it, but there, you know, just to be safe. And that looks like, I don't know if that's the current dryer vent, probably not, but it may be, where yeah, there's some more cracks in the side. I don't know why they didn't it looks like they put, I mean, the siding doesn't look that old, so I don't know, maybe the previous owner, I don't know how it could have that many cracks. But siding is replaceable. That's why we do home inspections and make sure the house is up to par. There it is. And it looks like, just one thing I want to point out, that there's a newer roof right there, an architectural shingle. Let me see if I can zoom in slowly. So that's an architectural shingle roof. And then that's a 3 shingle tab. Why they didn't just replace that part of it as well is beyond me. I don't understand. That's just one little section of the roof. So 3 shingle tab only lasts 20 years. And an architectural shingle roof lasts 30 to 50 years, depending. And they do have a ridge vent at the top, so that is good for ventilation in the attic. But I don't know if you can see it, that little part at the top is a ridge vent. So anyways, all right, so summary on this house. The interior looks very nice and updated. So here's some of the pros. Interior is nice and updated, new carpet, new LVP, quartz countertops, new white shaker cabinetry. Also, you have a new HVAC. You also have a new water heater. Some of the cons of the house is the exterior. They only put half a fence up, and the other part of the fence is missing some pieces to it. So with that being said, also the siding, as I showed, had cracks in several areas. Well, a good amount of cracks in some areas, and the siding doesn't really look that old. I don't know what happened, and I could be wrong on, but it just doesn't. You know, maybe they pressure washed it before, but I don't know. You know, that siding looks like something that you can get from Home Depot, and there's a supplier in Norfolk as well for siding, so they could have easily matched that siding. And they're probably going to have to, whoever buys this house. There really isn't a driveway, and then also that workshop, which is really considered a detached garage, but there's no way you could park a car in it or anything like that. Does have old sheetrock that's kind of coming apart. They never skim coated it, so they never turned it into an actual, you know, complete wall. So they just kind of left that part as is. From the previous owner, I mean, I could tell they did no work in there. They did put a new window and a new door. It didn't look like the previous owner was really really using it or upkeeping it. With that being said, this is 1201 Sunset. I'll get the videos out to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.